Hi, I'm Rita McGrath, a professor at Columbia Business School in the city of New York, as we like to say, at the very center of business. And today I'd like to chat to you about how what I call the transient advantage economy is changing careers in such a way that we're all going to be needing to be a lot more entrepreneurial in order to have a successful working life. So let's start off with the world as we knew it. When we were growing up, what did we get told? We got told, get a college degree from a good school. Join a company. The company will sell you development, right? They will look after you. You progress in their career ladder, and you're going to start at like level 17, and by the time you're done, you end up at level 3, and that's career nirvana. And I remember those days. I remember when you could make an appointment with the head of human resources for AT&T, and they would fill your classrooms for an entire year. It was really the organizationally managed career ladder. Today, we're seeing big changes in that model. And I'll list a couple. First of all, we used to think you had to get a degree to be recognized as someone who'd achieved a certain level of mastery. Today, what we're seeing is accreditation and the recognition of skill at the level of the skill. We're seeing credits at the level of a course. We're seeing people measuring what you can actually do before they'll hire you. So it's a whole sea change in what having a degree does for you. The firm isn't really looking after you. Their attitude is, well, you may not be with us, so why should we make a big investment in you? Increasingly, people are going to have to find their own thing. They're going to have to find their own path through what interests them and what skills they really want to build. I don't think you can rely on the HR department looking after you. Increasingly, again, it's an individual kind of thing. And that career ladder, which moves like a ratchet that we always thought about, I think much less ladders, much more lattices. It's going to be a much more fluid kind of thing. And instead of nirvana being marching up a corporate hierarchy, what we're going to think about is nirvana being something you've created, where you have so much value that one or more or many firms really want to pay you to do something that you are uniquely able to do. So what will a career be today? I think there are some emerging elements that are important to bear in mind. We'll need to be investing in continual skill building. I have a friend who's the head of talent for a publishing firm that's transforming into a digital firm, and she was telling me about a woman who was fired 6 months ago complaining that nobody wanted to hire her because they want people that know social, and they want people that know digital, and they want people that have these other skills. And my friend was really upset about this because she said, I had courses in all those subjects available to her for free, and she just didn't take advantage of them. So ask yourself, am I building new skills? I think secondly, we're going to find that our personal networks are much more critical than perhaps they used to be, because those are the things that are going to give us stability. It's those relationships that are going to last, even if companies come and go and you get acquired and you move on. Those networks of people are going to continue to be really important. I think the clear assessment of the value that you bring is going to be much more transparent. I think it's going to be much easier to say, I know how to do this and here's how I can demonstrate that than perhaps it used to be. Increasingly, as the millennials say, work is going to be a thing that you do, not a place you go to, as in go to work. In fact, Nilofer Merchant told me at the Thinkers 50 conference, where I recently was in London, she said that 48% of all work done in the United States is not attached to a particular job. It's done by contract workers, freelancers, people who act on a consulting basis, but it's not part of a job attached to a corporation. One of the things to be aware of is that there are going to be winners and losers. If you're someone who can demonstrate value, who has a unique skill, who has, dare I say it, a personal brand, you're likely to do very well. If you're somebody who's just kind of fungible and your organization thinks, there's 10 more just like that person, we don't really need to worry about keeping them, you're going to be at a very difficult position. So what's my advice? I have a recent book out called The End of Competitive Advantage, and there's a quiz in the last chapter that you can take, which will allow you to assess how well you're prepared in case things are changing. And where you're falling short, by goodness, do something. Start to invest in building a robust, transient advantage-proof career. The good news is there are lots of resources. There are resources in online courses, there are resources in skill building, and there's lots of organizations that you can work in to pick up those valuable skills that can make you a player in this transient advantage economy.